On May 12, 2022, the 2022 regular session of the South Carolina General Assembly concluded. Over the past 2 years, roughly 3,800 bills were introduced, with nearly 2/3 being introduced by members of the House and the remaining 1/3 introduced by the senators. In total, 269 bills were enacted during the biennium. What was passed and what didn't? Let's take a quick look. One of the most important bills passed during any session is the Annual Appropriations Act that was approved by the General Assembly on June 15. The key point number 1, how much was included in the bill? Key point number 2, what were the key priorities? Key point number 3, the bill included a major tax cut originally introduced in S. 1087 due to tremendous impact to state revenues that the tax cut would have on the budget bill and future appropriation bills. Key point number 4, Governor Henry McMaster signed S. 1087 into law while returning $52.6 million worth of line item budget vetoes to the legislature. Some vetoes were dealt with during the June special session, as several remain pending until the return to regular session in January 2023. Legislators also approved H. 3126, instituting a prohibition on vaccine mandates by public employers. This legislation prohibits public employees, including school districts, from requiring that employees, contractors, or students be vaccinated for COVID-19. And continuing the allocation of Federal American Rescue Plan Act, or ARPA monies, H. 4408 was signed by the governor on May 13th, allocating more than $2 billion to infrastructure projects, including $454 million to the Department of Transportation, to accelerate completion of projects included in the statewide Transportation Improvement Program, and $400 million for broadband expansion in underserved and unserved areas of the state. Other projects funded by ARPA monies include $900 million to the Rural Infrastructure Authority to disperse grant funding for rural water and sewer infrastructure, $100 million to the Office of Resiliency for stormwater infrastructure projects and acquisitions of property in the floodplain throughout the state to lessen the impacts of future flood events, and $104 million to DHEC for the new public health laboratory. While these bills were successfully passed into law, others did not have the same outcome, including those dealing with key issues. Here are a couple of examples of bills that will likely remain on the docket for next year's session. The South Carolina Compassionate Care Act, S. 150, would have allowed access to certain forms of cannabis for treatment of specified chronic or debilitating diseases if a physician had issued a written certification specifying the medical condition and meeting other requirements. S. 150 was ruled out of order in the House and it died on the House floor. As passed by the Senate, S. 290 would have repealed the entire Certificate of Need law currently administered by DHEC, excepting for nursing homes, which would continue to be subject to CON requirements. Though the House and Ways and Means Committee created a special committee to consider the bill, they ultimately chose not to approve the bill, citing a lack of stakeholder agreement. The legislature continues to deal with the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision. The House and Senate both adopted different versions of H. 5399 abortion restrictions legislation and continues to meet pursuant to the sine die resolution. The Nexsen Pruet Public Policy Team has been proud to engage with the General Assembly on behalf of our clients throughout the legislative biennium. We will remain vigilant and in communication with legislators and provide additional updates as needed. Have an upcoming legislative issue? Let us know how we can help.